How many Einsteins are there in the world? Where are they? I bet most of you would say in the developed countries. Maybe somewhere in the US, maybe in Germany, maybe in Japan. But how about the developing countries? Could the next Einstein be in South Sudan, in Haiti, in Bangladesh? How many Albert Einsteins, Marie Curies, and Stephen Hawking are waiting to be discovered in other developing countries? And when I talk about them, I mean exceptionally bright and gifted young individuals who are capable of giving the opportunities to change our world. Do you know the answer? I don't. But the only way to find out is by giving everyone the chance to be the next Einstein. And the only way to do it is through education. And this is exactly what I'm here to talk about. This is University of the People. We're opening the gates to higher education to everyone. And by doing so, we let the next Einstein or Curie, maybe, to surface. And when I say that we open the gates to higher education to everyone, let me give you a few examples. First, Mitse Bukware from Rwanda. He's a survivor of the genocide in Rwanda. In the genocide, he lost his father, he lost his land, and he lost his livestock. The livestock supplied the livelihood to the family. Now the family was left only with Sebukware to care for them. He had the responsibility to look after his siblings and his mother. With so many responsibilities on his shoulders, he still managed to graduate high school. But nothing more. No hope. No chance for a bright future until he discovered the University of the People. Now, he's studying towards his BS in Business Administration with the University of the People. Now, his future looks a lot brighter. Next, meet Nelia from Peru. She was on her way to her university, got into a devastating car accident, spent a year and a half in the hospital, only to come out on a wheelchair. She wanted to resume her higher education, but she couldn't afford no find and handicap accessible university in the small town in the developing country she lives in. No hope, no chance for a bright future until she discovered the University of the People. Now she's studying toward her BS in Business Administration. Now Nelia's future looks a lot brighter. Last, let me introduce you to Hassan from Uganda. He was born to a polygamous family, to never educated parents who manually worked the land. His father had 3 wives. Using Hassan's own words, I have at least 24 brothers and sisters. Can you imagine having 24 siblings? Well, then his father died. Sebukware was left to take care of his brothers and sisters, pay for their school fees, and for the family livelihood. He ate a meal a day, hardly surviving, but never gave up, and still managed to graduate high school. He's the most educated person in his family. But it would have cost him a full year's salary to pay for 1 semester. He couldn't afford it. No hope, no chance for a bright future until he discovered the University of the People. He's now studying towards his BS in computer science. The future looks now a lot brighter. If I'm asked if we will find the next Einstein among our students, the answer is, this is not our objective. We have a much grander objective. We are looking to open the gates to higher education to everyone, to let everyone the chance to be educated. Maybe then the next Einstein or Curie will surface by his or her own. There are two schools of thought when it comes to education. The first is selecting the best, investing in them, pushing them, the selected few. The second is letting everyone have the opportunity, those who want to get higher education, and discover along the way the exceptional talented among them. Most people would agree that education should be available for everyone, but most of them will also say that it is questionable whether it is achievable, whether it is a realistic goal. Well, this is a valid question. The price of higher education is skyrocketing, as we all know. UNESCO stated that in the year 2025, 98 million people will not have seats in the existing universities. Again, close to 100 million people will be deprived from higher education. So this is a valid question. Can quality education be available and accessible to everyone? My answer is yes, it can. Higher education can be affordable and accessible to everyone. And the way to do it is through online education. There is room for everybody. There is no limits on seats. My own personal experience taught me that. For over 20 years, I was in for-profit education. Among others, I was responsible for educational programs for hundreds of thousands of students from kindergarten to college. I was responsible for starting the first online university outside of the US in Europe. That's where I learned how powerful online learning can be. We had students from all over the world. They stayed at home, they kept their job, and still got this great European education. But while having this great success, deep inside, I felt uncomfortable. Because for most people, this great education was nothing but a wishful thinking. They couldn't afford it. It was too expensive. I ended up selling this university and the rest of my business and went into semi-retirement. That's the time where I start dreaming of reaching those who were left out of higher education. And this desire came from a very basic belief. Think about it. If you educate one person, you can change a life. But if you educate many, you can change the world. It was during that time that I start realizing that things have been changed in the virtual world. And all the ingredients that were needed to make impact on education existed. Almost everything that was needed to open the gates to higher education is available and for free. Open source technology, technology that everyone can use for free. Open educational resources, content that people produce and put on the net for the rest of the world to use for free. And the new internet culture of social networking where people share, teach, and learn from each other for free. All I had to do was to put it all together. So I did. But if I'm pushed, if I would be asked or pushed to say, what is the one reason that I believe that quality education can be available and affordable to everybody, I would answer, it is because we're already doing it. University of the People is the first ever non-profit, tuition-free online university. The gates to higher education are now open to everybody. We started It was created 3 years ago, and look at what we have achieved. We have accepted 1,500 students. Most of them, over 95% of them, say that they would recommend the university as a good place to study. I guess we're doing something right. These students are coming from 132 countries, from the United States to the United Arab Emirates, from Indonesia to Micronesia, from South Sudan to Afghanistan, literally from every corner of the world. We offer our students only business administration and computer science. And the reason for that is that our students come to us to have a better chance for their future. These are the two programs that are most likely to help them find a job. For these 1,500 students, we have 2,900 volunteering professors. 2,900 volunteering professors jumped on board to help our students. We have a ratio of about 2 professors to each student, not very common in our higher education world. And they are coming from the best places. Our President's Council consists of the Vice Chancellor of Oxford, the President of NYU, the Rector of the Academy of Paris and other great institutions. Our Provost team is from Columbia University. Our deans are from NYU, and we have many more. We are research partners with Yale Law School. We are partners with NYU to accept our best students to study with NYU. And we are partners with HP to enable our students to have online internship. We have over 1 million supporters on Facebook. We are the second largest university in the world on Facebook after Harvard. We are number 2. I guess we should try harder, right? What we are most proud of is that compared to other similar American universities, we were able to cut down almost the entire cost of higher education. All we ask our students is to cover the cost exams. $100 per end of course exam. And even that, only if they can afford it. We are just at the beginning. We just started 3 years ago. We are just at the beginning. But I would like to share with you and conclude with a success story. Next week, a young person named Joe Jean is going to start his studies in one of the most selective universities in the world, New York University, Abu Dhabi. He was selected to be one of a group of 150 students out of 15,000 applicants who try to get a seat. It's the most selective university in the world. Only 1% of the applicants are being accepted to NYU Abu Dhabi. Joe Jean has been accepted. Not only that, he's receiving a full scholarship, living and travel expenses. What makes Joe Jean so unique is that Joe Jean is a survivor of the 2010 earthquake in Haiti. He lost everything in the earthquake, but not his hope. 4 months after the earthquake, he applied to University of the People, got accepted, and started his studies. While studying, he had to work in multiple jobs. Juggling between his multiple jobs and his studies, this incredibly young man also found the time to volunteer helping his peer students. And he was doing very well. When we announced our partnership with NYU, where our best students can be accepted to NYU Abu Dhabi, Joe Jean applied. He got accepted. From the rubble of Haiti to one of the most selective universities in the world, Joe Jean has made it. Who knows what's next for him? Maybe he's going to lead one of the Fortune 500 companies. Maybe he's going to start his own venture to change the world. This is Joe Jean. This is University of the People. Not every day will the world find the next Einstein, Curie, or Hawking. But every day, thousands of ambitious students are walking through the gates of University of the People, waiting to show us what they have. Let's release our human potential. Remember, when you educate one person, you can change life. When you educate many, you can change the world. We can change the world. If you believe this is an idea worth spreading, then please help us spread the word. Thank you. Thanks.